Welcome everyone for another tournament matches review, and this time this match has been selected from the Group B of the PCC 6 that has been played last weekend, and it's against Even Worse Timing and NA Sandbags EU, two teams that have some EU players entering this NA tournament and naturally bring a little bit of EU flair on how they approach the match, how their macro works. And so I think it's interesting to watch those two teams, especially since they both qualify for the main event in like a week or so. And so I think it was like a great match to watch, a great match to review. So let's just right in. So welcome for like the Group B match between like the first seed and the second seed. This match has been played during the round 3 of the Group B, but that was like the anticipated match to determine who are going to get like the first seed and who are going to have to play the elimination match as the second seed team. On the downside, we do have NA Sandbags EU composed of Bondroot, North, Seismic, Brandon, Knight and Nefty against Even Worse Timing composed of Pablo, which is River Sprinter, Ray, Shin, Import and the Snoop, with Ray, Shin and Import being all three of them developer of the game, and also Even Worse Timing being PCC4 champion. As we have seen in terms of team, we do have a very like strong engage dive type of comp that can go with like the Steel Shield Slam, follow up by the Sevrog dashing in, suddenly the Black Hole, Reversal of Fortune, the damage of the Twin Blast. Very strong composition that can have the limitation of lacking a little bit of damage if the Twin Blast get picked up. And then on the other side, we have a more like open type of comp. I do hope that the Snoop on the Fengmao is going to go absolutely like crazy, because otherwise like they need to remove that Muriel from the team fight very fast and this Twin Blast. If they do so, suddenly the team fight looks very promising on side of Even Worse Timing. But if they don't manage to make that happen, the team fight can become like very complicated. But in the early game we do have, actually it's a Sevrog jungle. And Bondroot has gone for the steal, so it's the steal into the Fengmao. Sevrog in jungle. Sevrog jungle, pretty good to gank Iggy and Scorch, pretty good to gank the Bellica support. Not so much to gank the Fengmao, but it could be, depending on how low Fengmao is and how Bondroot is going to play that matchup. The Snoop very proficient on the Fengmao though, so I'm quite curious on how this matchup is going to fare up. And yeah, in the mid lane we do have a Gideon, Iggy and Scorch matchup. We have a Muriel Twin Blast against a Bellicat Drongo. Bellicat Drongo, I would say like stronger in that lane, especially in the early levels. Muriel is a very good character, very good for poking, but the Twin Blast needs a few level into his Vaporize to start to be like dangerous. And Bellica at any point can get like a CC on the Muriel, and suddenly like that's a lot of damage, because Drongo is still like a very strong lane bully. But this Muriel Twin Blast lane can play, but they have to respect the early levels, otherwise it can start becoming a little bit dicey for them. So here we're trading like auto attack so far, not going for any poke. Just a little bit of an E, so Bondroot knows that the E has been selected first. Is going for the shields bash, shield bash into auto attack, because once you use the shield bash as the steal, you trigger your passive that gives you a little bit of health, and so you can go for the little auto attack afterwards, because then the minion damage is just going onto your shield. On the other side, we do have like Ray and Pablo against Brandon Knight and Nefty, which is like two very strong dual lane on each side. Like I said, I think the Bellica Drongo has a slight advantage. As we can see here, they're already like zoning pretty well. Neft wants to step up to get the last hit, but he can't, as you can see. Like, oh, actually, I think he secured it, but he missed one last hit from this zoning, and now they're gonna get like the priority for the level 2 that they already have. And they had to play very passive. This wave is going to crash, maybe not, but they have minion advantage. Good counter poke here. I don't know if Ray's Consort Crest, so he has to be careful about the damage he's taking. Here we can see the Savrog has gone like for full clear, and now he's going for the river buff. Pablo doesn't have a lot of mana though. I feel like Pablo has been like not super good in terms of mana usage. And here we have North going immediately for a gank after that river buff. And they're looking for the aggression. And we got the slow. That's the flash immediately. We missed the subjugate, and so that's gonna be the disengage. So North sacrificing a little bit of his passing to be able to get like some damage. And now we do have import coming for the gank onto Bondrewd. Bondrewd going for the bull rush away into the shield bash. Enough to disengage. But the problem is we have like 3 range. So the Snoop is going to crash that. If they wanted, they could have like fully frozen that and deny like even more. With import being around, like they could have maybe like then like, yeah. So the Snoop is freezing, taking advantage of that situation, and then it's gonna probably like can go for a reset afterwards. I don't think he's gonna deny the cannon, but he can deny like 3 more melee, and 3 more melee is 78 gold at that moment of the match. And so that's like actually quite huge. Melee is spread out, and so no, I only deny 1, unfortunate. But that's a little bit more gold on the Snoop, and so if Snoop like then end up like finding like a good like back timing, of course he's never gonna have like a super good back timing. But 6 is in the blue side, so Bondrewd has to respect that. And so the Snoop is not looking for any fight in that situation. And in the meantime, we do have, after North has finished his blue and his 3 camp, is going back to the dual lane for a potential gank. They know that Pablo doesn't have flash, and so that early gank actually apply like a lot of pressure. They do know that, and we got the flash here, subjugate into damage, we spend, and we got the flash also out of fray. Very, very, very well played. What do you mean, Marcus, by what is that? It's basically like reviewing the matches of the Group B stage against the top 2 team of each group. Oh, or do you mean the flash?
What is that?
Yeah. And that was very well played by North. Like, they know the flash is done. Expanding the flash of your jungler to guarantee a kill on the enemy carry, and also getting the flash out of the support is definitely a trade that you want to take. And yeah, first blood on the side of NA Sandbags EU. So far, not much of an action going on into the mid lane. I feel like compared to PCC4 and PCC5, like mid laners are kind of left alone for a big portion of the games. So Scepter being selected here, I guess we're going into a Marshall route. I feel like here, Marshall is super duper strong, don't get me wrong. But since like Twin Blast get advantage also like from the AP, that could have been like also like a Crystal tier game for the side of Brandon. Because then it's like better for the Steel, the Sevrog, the Gideon. Crystal tier would have been like very strong. And here, like, just a kill, just like that. Neft is in range for the stun. Gag grenade into multiple. Full combo from Pablo. And that's the strength of a Drongo. If you go for the full combo onto a Seismic Assault, suddenly you are dead. Well, the Marshall is mainly like gonna only advantage the Muriel itself and the Twin Blast. While Crystal tier would have like advantage every single character in that team. So I feel like it could have been a strong option. It could also be Wellspring first, I think, with the Scepter. So we'll see what Brandonite decided to go build into.
Allied tower under attack.
We do have import going immediately for an early Fanctus from this kill from Neft. They take advantage of the fact that they had like the priority from the kill, trying to secure that. Iggy and Scorch like holding people in mid, North going for the aggression, but Shin very slippery, a very hard mid laner to kill most of the time. And so they're going to secure this first Fengtus of the game without losing much on the map for it. So even worse timing, taking like a good option here. Kind of a free Fengtus. Bondwood got the Brimstone against like the Soul Kali, so that's a strong timing for the steal. Let's see that Bondwood is trying to take advantage of it. But the Snoop is fully respecting, so not much to do. And we have import going from behind. They weren't expecting that at all. We catch the dash, and that's another kill on Nefty. And very, very well played by import. I'm just curious to see like the passing he has done. That makes him like completely invisible to the eyes of the enemy team. And I guess you just go like below the hill so they can't see him. As you can see, like you do this passing because they have the pressure, and here like yeah, you cannot expect that. That's very, very smart by import. And here just like know that there is no flash on Nef. You catch the dash. That's a guaranteed kill. Well, actually there was flash on Neft. It's just that maybe yeah, I think Neft should have flash instead of rocket dash. A little bit greedy of him to try to keep his dash up, and the rocket keep his flash up, and rocket dash is a little bit it's not big enough to be able to dodge the call.
Allied tower under attack.
And so unfortunately Neft dying again. Secure the gold buff on the side of Pablo, and in terms of CS we're kinda even. And we go for the colossal blow here onto the Bellica. Bellica doesn't have flash, trying to stay alive as long as she can. And okay, Nefty arriving, going for the flash in, but 1 HP, no rotation, surviving. So it's probably gonna be like a crash of that lane, crash of the next wave, and they're just like gonna reset again. But is there really like a big reaction ping when you react to the ambush that takes like a full second to arrive on you? Like I feel like you press the button at the same time in that situation. Moving on, we do have a 2-2 scoreline. Yeah, I agree on that, Nev, that you have reaction time plus ping, but the thing is, like you need to rocket dash the jump, and since it jump first, then your reaction time is not reaction time because you're gonna rocket dash the jump, and so you already have like you already like pre-press the button like when the jumps arrive.
The enemy has activated the All Prime.
We do secure the All Prime on the side of NA Sandbags EU. It's gonna be offered to North. And then we're gonna have kind of waiting for the next objective. Fengtus is going to respawn into 1 minute.
Allied tower under attack.
And in the meantime, we're trying to get like a little bit of pressure. Different lane. Here we're just like into farming mode, preparing for the next like objective. Bondo just trying like to bait the Snoops for walking forward but with this recall. And we're grouping. But we do have the mini prime on north, which can be actually like very strong because like a Sevrog with mini prime is very hard to shut down. And then we actually like here we can see Import just like doesn't care, just like okay, I'm gonna take your camps in the meantime. But we do have an aggression being found into like Shin. Shin is going for the epoch. And so we go for the invade, but here Shin need to fully respect that. I think we got the flash from north trying to go here. And flashing from north going very aggressive. Get the colossal blow, get the black hole. Very good combo, Shin can't really do much about it. And we do have import that is now like behind. Both ultimate has been like used, but there is not much to fully counter engage that just by yourself. You can just like clear the minion wave to defend the tower. You're not looking fully. Here we're looking now for the gank onto the dual lane. And we got a subjugate onto Ray. We got a little bit of damage, but that's gonna be it. But that's create priority if they want to go for a potential Fangtus. But Iggy and Scorch is back on the map. And so far this death of the second Fangtus has been going for quite a while. Finally we got import like starting to force it with the Icecorn Talon. We're going probably like Basilisk, and here they have to disengage. North is arriving. Oh, very good seismic assault. We got the black hole back. We still have the colossal blow forcing the flash left and right. Ray is going away. Import is trying to survive as well. Shin is there to try to zone them a little bit, but Bondroot has gone for the rotation while the Snoop is still there. We do miss the shield slam on Import. Import with the juke shoes on, using like the camp as a folder for the jump of the ambush, but he's going to get chased and he's going to die in the end. But the whole time Import survive, it's true he's going to die in the end, but that means it's offering time for the Snoop to actually like split push that situation. And we're still like looking at getting it, but Seismic has no mana. We do have Ray and Pablo. They try to delay that as much as they can. The Iggy and Scorch is still in the mid lane with a little bit of mana. North is 1 HP. We got the shield. Consecrated ground. North is almost going to fall. He's end up dying. We got the cack grenade. We also got the damage. And we do secure and steal the objective from the side of NA Sandbags EU. And so even worse timing is not 2 objective up. And that's a thing that it's kind of a throw, but at the same time it kind of comes down to the fact that Import survived that long and they had to play that well. And that's also one thing I love about like even worse timing is like they know how to play slow those objectives. They don't just like, oh, run down, we have to go for the 50-50 hunt. No, here they know that the Fangtus is dealing damage. They can poke from a distance and just like simply play that very nicely. And in the end, it was still a 50-50 on who is going to secure the objective, but they're gonna lose like a lot of people in the process. And that was a very costly.
An allied tower is destroyed.
The thing, like it's, I mean, it's more us hinting and not doing anything, to be honest. Like, you can still secure the Fangtooth. The thing is, like, if you secure the Fangtooth, if Bond is staying, or if you, like, you can't really, like, fully on-engage because you don't have ultimate, and they're playing in a way that you can't really, like, fully engage on them. If you just go on them, they're just gonna, like, walk away to their Iggy and Scorch, and suddenly you're fighting in a choke point against Iggy and Scorch. So, and Seismic has no mana, so I'm not even sure. Like, it's just like they're playing for the delay, and then you take maybe like a wrong decision of staying on the objective, that's for sure. But it's still, I don't think you can fight them because even worse timing wouldn't have let you fight them. And if Bond would stay, you can probably secure it, but you still like lose a lot on the right side of the map. So even worse timing, playing the delay game very, very well. They're probably like the best team at doing that. And it's basically even worse timing is asking you a hard question that is not easy to answer as a team. And so we try to go onto the Snoop. We use the Reversal of Fortune. Unfortunately, it's not enough to secure the kill. We got a double Seismic Assault to fully force a disengage. We do have Import arriving. And now we're chasing like as much as we can north. I don't think there is like much kill potential. It's just like creating once again. Like the idea is not really to kill, or it's just like to create timing. So that means that no Pablo can take the tower. They can also like have priority for that mini prime. And here they don't chase that kill. They just like go for the... They know that Sevrog is forced back to base. And now they go immediately for the mini prime. Instead of spending like a long time chasing the kill. And so we do have a mini prime. We do secure... I'm not sure we secure the tier 1 tower on the right side. We do secure the tier 1 tower on the right side. And so like a mini objective plus a tower. Definitely like to the advantage of even worse timing. They lose a lot of people. Pablo is 4-1. So it's gonna be like super big. And that makes very, very hard to play into like a big Drongo. Blob seems to be a lovely person. From the amount of like spit he's throwing in the chat, he seems to be like a wonderful person. In the meantime, we're just waiting for like taking a little bit of priorities, just farming time. And we're just waiting for objective to respawn. There is not much to gain. They're just like probably gonna play like a little bit passive. We go for the Reversal of Fortune, trying to self-seismic. It's not good enough. But we can probably like trade with Pablo. The Snoop is at 1 HP. But we got Import arriving, so that was like Pablo was like going into that direction. Once again, like Import loving to babysit his laner, and I do find Brandonite after that. Nefty is trying to go for a play, but unfortunately Import finds him like first. And we got like the Seismic Assault from Ray. Everyone is collapsing. They got triple kill. Unfortunately, better end of the rotation in the end. And they're a little bit too far behind to be able to deal with Pablo. And makes the game very, very hard to play. Fangtooth is going to respawn, but they still have Nef that is done for 15 seconds. We see that everyone has reset. On the side of even worse timing, they spend all their golds after those 3 kills, and they're not gonna like run there. Bondroot was defending right side. There is not much they can do to defend these third Fangtooths, especially since we have the mini prime on import. That's gonna be a free like Sun Fangtooth potentially. Seismic can try to contest that with the black hole with Brandon, but We have North inside the pit actually, like they're trying like for the Hail Mary play, but it's not gonna happen. Third Fang 2 secured. And we also find North, like they're running straight to the R prime here. Neft was like going to defend on the left side. They're a tempo down simply because like they're that far behind. And so they're going to try to secure. They do have the Iggy and Scorch damage. They do have like the Drongo that is pretty fed. They do have a very heavy like damage comp because they have the camera and the Feng Mao and no tank. So this objective is gonna fall down like super fast. And now we have an R prime pre 21 minutes into the game. Like even worse timing is not letting the gas pedal off. And now they're just gonna reset, spend all their goals. Twin Blast managed to apply a little bit of pressure on the left side of the map, but now he's forced to reset. And then they're just like gonna pressure like every single lane very aggressively with this R prime, with the lead they do have. In terms of CS, they're only like 50 CS up, but they're 6 kills up. They are, I think, like 6 objective up as well. So like the objective game is super duper strong. That's one of the biggest strengths of the camera pick overall. And we keep like going in advance.
No choice. I must recharge.
It's not true. There is like the ambush into Call that can cancel your ult, Romaware. So there is something to cancel the ult, but yeah. So we're going to be into a defense mode. We do have the Iggy split pushing on the right hand side. And then we're gonna go... and we have like a 1-3-1 split. As we can see, the Snoop is on the other side trying to get the tier 2 tower, or actually like some pressure on the tier 2 tower. They do have to be careful in the mid lane. As we can see, they're looking for a kill, but they have ward everywhere. They try to engage into Pablo. They go for the Reversal of Fortune. Multiple ultimate has been used. They do find Pablo. Still is almost dead. Import has to disengage. Their team is not super good at actually disengaging, but we have the Snoop arriving from behind. They all group as 5 to get like the maximum shield potential. They do find like a very good team fight overall. Ray is at 1 HP, forced to flash away. But in the meantime, the Snoop is coming back to the fight, getting the kill finally on Bondroot. We also have Minion eating the core. We do find North playing a little bit too far away from his team, chasing a little bit too hard. And no, that's the counter engage. To be fair, very good fight. Nefty is at 1 HP, get the shield from Brandonite. Brandonite is trying as much as he can, but unfortunately Shin damage is too much, and the Muriel that is alone is going to end up falling. And so despite the fact that they're super far behind, NA Sandbags EU almost finding an entry, get the kill on Pablo. I feel like if North wasn't going so far away from the shield of the Muriel and they played slightly more grouped up, they would have had a chance in that team fight. Because Ray and Import were quite low. The only big threat was like the Iggy and Scorch, and I don't think Import or Ray could have like face checked like the 4-5 other people of the enemy team. And so if North stayed a little bit more with the team, I think here there was like a team fight. Unfortunately, spread out, didn't manage to get like the solo kill, the hero kills he was going for, and the whole team fight collapsed after North get killed. And so that's for kill, but we only lose one inhibitor in the process. So at least we survived the 21 minutes R prime, but we're still like super duper far behind. And the enemy team is keeping the snowball on. On the offlane, we're 3 level down. On the jungle, 1 level down. On the mid lane, 1 level down. On the support role, we're 3 level down. And on the carry, we're even. So we are 8 level down across the map, which is very rough. And in terms of gold, we're probably like also like quite behind. Though like Neft has been farming quite well, getting ahead of like Pablo in terms of CS, which like once again we said like the winning condition for the side of NA Sandbags EU in teamfight is mainly like having the damage onto Neft, and the rest is able to create space. So here, what are we looking at? Oh, we do find Ray. That was going like for some ward. We good to shield slam for the shrapnel cannon. Colossal blow into 2. Import is in a bad spot. Going for the call, but he's tanking a lot. Like the damage we get North. Like I think North get killed by the Rad round. I do miss that. Bondroot is 1 HP. He's going to get picked. Import still have the stacks on him and trying to fight. Oh, unfortunately the stab drop off because Seismic has the gray buff. Very, very, very speedy, but the Snoop arrive is not enough tank. And yeah, it's 4 kill for 2. Unfortunately, they're a little bit too far behind, and even worse timing is pressing W, and they have like the kind of 5 damage dealer comp, which means that 5 damage dealer comp is, if you get slightly ahead, is super hard to deal with because everyone in the enemy team is a menace. Everyone can do like whatever they want and they can just like W on loop, but if they fall behind suddenly, like they can't play the game. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. And here, secure the fourth Fangtooth of the game. First Primal. They're gonna get this Primal to fight the next Ore Prime, which should be easy for them to secure because they have mainly like very tanky frontline with the Steel and the Sevrog, but against a Primal Fangtooth that early in the game while being down on itemization, you're not gonna tank anything, and so anyone like no is like kind of crystal in terms of like their durability, and everything is going to shatter in the next team fight if they go for it. They need like a perfect wombo combo with the Shield Slam, Black Hole, damage, Reversal of Fortune, and get like 3 pick out of that wombo combo to have a shot, and I don't see that happening. On top of that, once again, even worse timing, asking you to answer complex question. Here, you have like normally if the old group has 5, that's on even worse timing to actually like create the pressure and actually go for like the Ore Prime, because every time they delay, they're losing on Primal. And even worse timing don't want to be the one under pressure, so the Snoop is going for the split push. And no, suddenly it's on NA Sandbags EU to, we want to actually like force the engage because otherwise we're gonna lose our inhibitor on the left side. And the additional reason of doing that is because like even worse timing is ahead with the Primal Fangtooth. They want to not fight in 5v5 because they know that the only solution for NA Sandbags EU to get like a shot as those team fight when they are like kind of squishy in their team is those wombo combo. But if you put some people away, and the Snoop is so big that I think you need to put at least 2 people away to counter him, then suddenly like you win the team fight pretty easy because in the 4v4 or 4v3 there is nothing they can do. And so here, just by having the Snoop split pushing, they put the pressure onto NA Sandbags EU to make something happen. And because this pressure is here we can see that Seismic kind of probably hurts you. We need to crash, we need to make something happen. And he get picked up, and suddenly the 2 tanks by themselves, Nefty can't approach anything. They try to go onto Pablo, they try to find the pick. They go for the wombo combo on Pablo, trying to find at least something, but Shin is arriving. They're probably gonna find Pablo though, and now they're finding Shin as well. So very, very well played by NA Sandbags EU. They do lose 2 though in the process, and the Snoop is actually like going for the W. As we can see, he's like split pushing and keeping the split push going up. But Neft managed to go back to base. He's gonna die, but he killed all the minions in the process. And so they can't like fully finish in that situation, I think. Or at least they need to push a little bit more. I think here the mistake is letting the 2 squishy target, which is Pablo and Iggy, completely alone in that team fight, and NA Sandbags EU find a good engage, and so they survive that situation. The inhibitor on the right side just respawn, and they do find like NA Sandbags EU, even their backs against the wall, they're actually like in close, very close to the collapse. They still find good team fight into even worse timing despite like their deficit. And so that's something that team in the main stage will have to look for, because true, even worse timing is in complete control of that game, but even in situation that they're so far behind, even in a situation when Seismic basically died for nothing, they still managed to find an entry point for themselves on the side of NA Sandbags EU. So now the Primal is still up on a few person, but it just like disappeared, so no Primal. So here it's only like the usual advantage, which is still like pretty good, don't get me wrong, but we're farming pretty well. We still have the triple Fang Tooth, making everyone like more tanky and dealing more damage with the 8% stat buff.
Legendary.
And the Snoop finding the solo kill onto Seismic. The Snoop already level 18. Flashing in, Seismic no mana. Not expecting the Snoop to be there. That's a free kill. The Snoop looking to fight, or at least like anchoring Nefty in a bad situation. Trying to put like Nefty away, so while the other side of the team can just like fight. And once again, we can see like even worse timing, the way they play the map. In full control, the Snoop going on to getting the pick, Seismic getting killed. Suddenly that means that this front line is alone. That means that they have 4 people, they can secure that with 4 people. They can't really get their eyes out of the Snoop. Every time they're going to walk forward, it's gonna be super risky. The Northeast can try to go like for the Hail Mary steal, but once again, they're playing that very well. Inferno being used, Seismic Assault, Cat Grenade. No shot for Nov to even enter this pit. And the Snoop is keeping currently like always like full pressure, forcing Nefty and Brandonite to stay inside the base because they can never leave the base, otherwise the Snoop will just like do a beeline towards this core and finish the game by himself. And here they have a timing with North is dead, so that's the reason I think they're going like for the aggression here. Trying to secure the 2 inhibitors. The right inhibitors is a fake one, so if they secure this mid inhibitor, the right one is gonna be pretty easy to secure. Import just creating space because it basically has like a zoning tool which is called ambush, because if you step into the ambush range, basically you are going to die. And here we have like all 3 inhibitors down, we have all the wave pressuring, everyone is finally up, but still it's a tall order to defend. The only thing that can be like pretty okay for them is that we're sitting on 0 gold on the side of NA Sandbags EU, while we have like we're sitting around like 10,000 gold on the side of even worse timing. But we also have triple fire minion wave like entering the base. You have to spend a lot of your ability to just like go for the minion, and they get engaged. The 2 tanks just get absolutely obliterated, and as soon as your 2 tanks get obliterated, you can try to go for some stuff, but it's not gonna be enough, and that's gonna be GG. Even worse timing, playing a very, very, very strong game, and with this 5 mine kind of damage dealer type of comp, we're going, if you get ahead, you can like keep snowballing, you get like full control of objective. That's what they were going, I think, with this camera, this Iggy and Scorch. This very strong pressure on the dual lane. They got full control of the objective. They play all the objective. There was a big turning point on that Fang Tooth that they end up like on the side of NA Sandbags EU not securing it and losing a lot of people in the process. And then clean game. But like I said, NA Sandbags EU finding some good team fight despite having their back against the wall, being like super duper far behind. And so like they were fighting despite the very, very low chance of actually having any hope in that game.